Welcome to the Iconics Genesis 64 video guide. This video discusses how to publish GraphWorX64 displays to Silverlight and non-Silverlight displays. It also shows how to publish using HTTP and FTP channels, as well as explains how to view these displays in a browser.
In this example, we will demonstrate GraphWorX64 pages published to WebHMI server. For publishing in GraphWorX64, we use two different methods. One is called HTTP publishing and the second is called FTP publishing. We will start off with HTTP publishing, and for this method we need to make sure that one service called WebDAV is correctly configured inside Internet Information Server. In our example, we are using Internet Information Server version 7.5 and Windows 2008 Server R2. To configure WebDAV on this server, we go to Server Manager and we click on our role and we right click on our web server and we select Add Row Services. Under the common HTTP features, we need to make sure that WebDAV publishing is installed. If it is not installed, you need to install it first. I'll just cancel this. So WebDAV is already installed for this server. So the next thing we need to do is to configure WebDAV service. We go to our Internet Information Server, go to Control Panel, Administrative Tools, and Internet Information Service Manager. We expand our server, expand our website, and we select our website, and we can see that WebDAV is already present there. Now we need to configure this WebDAV, and we double click on it, and the first thing we need to do is to enable WebDAV for this current website. Click Enable, and it is now enabled. Now the next thing we need to do is add some authoring rules. So we click on this authoring rules button, and we need to allow access to all contents, all users, and we can give full rights to all users for this presentation. Press OK and we get this rule. We need to make sure that for your website, under the authentication, Windows authentication is also enabled. So WebDAV is now correctly configured for this website. Now we go to our GraphWorX page and we will start publishing using HTTP publishing. First thing we need to do is go to File and we click on Publish, and it gives us this wizard. We click Next and we select our display. If we need to select more displays, we can do that. We can include and exclude more displays. We click Next, and now we need to select the publishing method. We click on New and we select the protocol, which is HTTP. We need to give the server name. This is the server name here, and we need to give the virtual directory. By default it is pub displays, which is installed by Genesis 64 installation. I can change it to my own virtual directory, for example this virtual directory. Now press OK and the list, it shows up inside my list. Now we need to click Next and we need to give some username and passwords for our website. Now we can click the Publish button and it publishes our GraphWorX64 page and it is successful. Press OK, and now we can go to our Internet Information Server and we can go to our virtual directory, and I can switch to Content View to see that these two files are already there. I can also right click and browse to make sure that the contents are correctly available. So now currently this display is running inside my Internet Explorer. Similarly, now we need to show you how to do the FTP publishing. I close this one, and for FTP publishing we need to first make sure that FTP server is available for our Internet Information Server. So I go to my server manager again, and I click on my add roles and services, and right at the bottom we see that FTP server is already installed. So if it is not installed, you need to install this one first. Cancel this one, and I close this one. Now I need to configure FTP server inside my Internet Information Server manager. We click on the default website, and now on the right hand side we can see that there is add FTP feature available. Now we can click add FTP, and we want to do it for all IP addresses, and we don't want any security for the time being. We go next, and we can use the basic authentication, and we can select some users, and in this case I will use administrator user, and I want to give full read and write permission to this user. So we click finish, and now the FTP publishing is available on this website. Now we go to our GraphWorX display, and now we will start publishing using FTP publishing. We go to file, publish, we click next, and we select our displays as before, and we only have one display at the moment. Now this time we click on new again, and we select FTP, and we select the server name, and we select the virtual folder, which is this one. Press OK, and website comes inside my list. Click next. We need to give username and password, and now we can do publish, and it is already published. So HTML file and GraphWorX file is published. So this shows that GraphWorX has been correctly published to our web server using FTP method. GraphWorX64 also supports Silverlight publishing, which is much faster for web. So in this case, first thing we need to do is to save this display as a Silverlight display. So we click File and save it as a Silverlight display. We give it a name, display 1 again, and so I don't want to see any errors, and I will just add some more symbols to my GraphWorX display and save it again. So we see that this is the Silverlight mode, so the current display is in Silverlight mode. So what I will do is go to File, and we go Publish, and I click Next, and click Next, and see here we also get a Silverlight JS file. We click Next. I need to select my site. I will use HTTP publishing. We click Next. We need to enter our username and password again, and we click Publish, and now it is published as a Silverlight. So we see that there are 3 files now: silverlight.js, display1.gdfxs, and I press OK, and we can close this one. Now we can go to our website, and I can go to switch to content view, and I see that now this GDFX Silverlight is also here. I right click and I press browse, and we see that this display is now showing inside our Internet Explorer, and it is running inside Silverlight.